Hey, good morning, everybody. You're in First Appearance Magistrate Court. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. Today you're going to be informed of the charges and we're going to determine if there's probable cause. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything is being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say or do can and will be used against you. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail, and we also have Mr. Vargas over here to my right from the Public Defender's Office. State, can you announce your appearance for the record, please?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Tara Worthington,
Okay, I'm sorry, Tara?
Yes.
And your last name?
Horvitz, Horvitz.
All right, thank you. Nice to meet you, Ms. Horvitz. All right, so if you have a private attorney, let me know when you step up to the podium. I'm going to call a couple cases possibly out of turn. Out of Mr. Jacob Daniel Lee, please. Jacob Daniel Lee, he's the first person on the docket.
Hello?
No, I understand. Someone was asking me the last name in here.
No problem.
Okay. You see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lee, you have 2 out-of-state holds for felonies out of Wichita, Kansas. Delivery of a controlled substance, over 400 grams, and delivery of marijuana. Your bonds are set by the state of Kansas at $100,000 and $50,000. Court does find probable cause for your arrest. We'll see you in extradition court Tuesday or Thursday, sir, at 1 p.m. Oh, Texas. Wichita, Texas. I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Good luck to you, sir. Carla Tonzini.
Ms. Tonzini is here, present judge at Maine. Come on up, ma'am.
Hello, Ms. Tonzini. You have a capious misdemeanor with a $1,000 bond, suspended driver's license, first offense, set by Judge Hurley. Court does find probable cause for your arrest with the capious. What say you, defense?
Judge, speaking Ms. Tonzini, she wishes to ask the court if you would consider resolving her case today.
Sure. Did you speak to her about three driver's license suspensions within 5 years, whether it's a conviction or not? Okay?
I did, Judge.
Okay. All right. State, do you have an offer? Do you have an offer? And can you make sure your mic's on so it's recording you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now?
No.
How about now?
Better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, I don't see any Broward priors. I don't have a recommendation at this time.
Okay. Withhold and court costs?
Thank you very much, Judge. Let me
Raise
just...
your right hand, ma'am. Do you swear and... You can finish talking to her. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to make sure she wanted that, and I was explaining that to her, and she said yes. So we're ready to proceed, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right. Put your hand down. Is your name Carla Francesca Tonzini, Tonzini?
Yes.
All right. Please wait till after I finish asking the questions so it's recorded properly, okay? All right, Ms. Tonzini, you are charged with driving while license is suspended. Your attorney, Mr. Romero, has indicated to me that you want to resolve your case today and give up your right to a trial and give up your right to have the state prove their case against you? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
Okay, you understand that if you get 3 driving while licenses suspended within a 5-year period, the Driver's License Bureau is going to revoke your license for 5 years as a habitual traffic offender. Do you understand that?
Do you understand? Yes.
Okay, how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to suspended driver's license first offense.
No contest.
Feel that no contest plea is in your best interest?
Yes.
Have you had enough of time to talk to your attorney, Mr. Romero, who's standing next to you?
Yes.
Okay, court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Court takes judicial notice of time served in the Broward County Jail. Withhold of adjudication, court costs $293. 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, One will be appointed. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Yamila Cordovi?
Hi, how are you? Ma'am, can I speak for a minute, please?
No,
Miss
I
was-
Cordovi,
ma'am.
Miss
They
Cordovi,
brought me here for no reason at all. I was just
Miss
trying to make a
Cordovi,
call. My
Yamila, I
boyfriend-
just spoke to you over the phone. Don't say anything.
Right.
Let me speak, please.
If you.
Okay, Ms. Cordovi, you have touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is trespassing occupied structure or conveyance. Court does find probable cause. Court is gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case, with the initials AF. No victim.
What's the first thing that you mentioned that I have? Because I was just trying to make a call for a
Yamila,
business.
don't talk about what happened.
Okay.
Court does find probable cause. Court is gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case. That means no contact in person, no calling, no texting, no writing, nothing on social media, and no passing messages from one person to the alleged victim in this case, and that includes whether you're in jail or not.
And how much you say was my bond again? Even if I shouldn't have a bond, they should have just let me go. How much is my bond?
Yamila, please relax. We're gonna get to that.
Court is also gonna order no return to the Shell gas station located at 2090 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Oakland Park, Florida. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, I did speak with Miss Cordovi over the phone. She does reside in Fort Lauderdale. I understand battery is a serious charge, but upon reading the probable cause affidavit, it was a piece of ice that was launched allegedly.
Because the guy was
Yamila, please don't talk. Don't talk.
I didn't throw nothing at the guy. That's not true, man.
Yamila, please calm down and let me help you. Your Honor, what I'm asking the court is, I don't see any concerning criminal history. There's no danger to the community. I would be asking the court to consider an ROR or in the alternative standard pretrial.
The court does, I have to tell you, have concerns just by observing the defendant's actions today. And the PC also says that she was causing a disturbance by harassing customers in the Shell gas station.
That's not
What's-
true, man. I was waiting for my
Yamila, don't
say
talk
you
about
defense.
anything.
And I was tired.
Yamila,
And he wasn't getting there.
Yamila, you're
That's
hurting
it.
yourself. You're hurting yourself when you're speaking right now. Please stop talking.
What say you, State?
Your Honor, the defendant has 5 prior trespasses, disorderly conduct, petty theft, as recently as July of this year. The state feels $1,000 bond is more than fair.
Can you leave it in $100 bond? Because that's what it should be. It
Yamila,
should be $100.
Yamila.
Can you please leave it in $100 so I
Yep.
can get out today? Because it shouldn't be 1,000. It should be 100. That's what I should pay. I should pay 100. And I actually didn't
Yamila.
do nothing. In my defense, I'm not guilty of nothing. I went to the
Yamila,
business
don't
and started
talk
making
about
phone
what
calls.
happened that night. You're hurting yourself right now. Please stop talking.
I'm talking
Please.
to a judge, not to you. If you can please let me go, man. And my
Okay,
bond should
ma'am.
be $100.
Do you understand that you can't go back to the Shell gas station and that if you go
I
back
get
there?
that, and I won't go there again. I won't go there again because the idiot got me in trouble. And the cops, they should be smarter, and they should never bring me here. They should just let me go.
You know
But it
what?
wasn't that smart.
I'm gonna make her bond 1,500 on the touch or strike battery. Thank you, ma'am. Not gonna require a bond on the other one. Good luck to you.
So how much do I have to pay?
1,500, ma'am. Thank you.
1,500?
Yes,
1500?
yes.
Hello?
Good luck to you. Thank
Yes,
you.
but you say 1,000
Cordovi,
before.
page 2.
No, that's what it was, but I decided to
Yes.
raise the bond, ma'am. Thank you.
Why
Good luck to
why do you raise it?
you. Ma'am, you
for
can speak,
what?
to- ma'am, this hearing's
So
over.
you guys get the money for the city? Why do you raise it? I don't have money.
Okay,
Can you
Deputy-
leave it at
Yamila,
$100?
it's over.
Yes, you can turn off the mic, thanks.
Is it $100?
Okay. Sandra Despain Cespedes? Thank you.
Not yet. No. You're a fucking bitch. You're sharing money so you get the money.
Oh, you know what? She's a municipal ordinance. Ma'am, you're a municipal ordinance case for the city of Fort Lauderdale. So we have to wait for Mr. McLaurin's. It's a trespassing case. Okay?
No, they told me very well outside that I no need to pay $25 and go all today. If Black man chases officer.
All right, ma'am, we'll speak to you. Deputy, we'll recall your case, ma'am. Kathy Franklin. Kathy Franklin?
She bonded, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sabrina Francis?
She's at North Broward, Your Honor.
Hello, Miss Francis, how are you?
Fine, how are you, ma'am?
Fine, thanks. You have count 1, a grand theft auto, counts 2 through 8, probation violations, no bond hold, counts 9 through 16, probation violations, no bond hold, counts 17 through 23, probation violations, no bond holds. Court does find probable cause on all counts. Court's gonna order no return, ma'am, to the enterprise,
Yes, ma'am.
and don't comment on the facts of the case where you allegedly rented this car. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, I did speak with Ms. Francis. It's my understanding that she's going to have to go to Dade County to address these violations of probation issues. Also, upon speaking with her about the alleged incident, really seems to be more of a misunderstanding more than anything. She does have to. She currently resides with her mother. Mother recently suffered an aneurysm. She's a caregiver for her mother. And her son also lives with her. So I'm asking the court to consider setting a $1 bond on this case so that she can actually go to Dade County to handle these violations of probation. I don't think there's anything to indicate that she would fail to appear at any court proceedings in the future, and she really needs to be out, Judge.
State your position.
There's 23 counts of no bond on an out-of-county hold, and I ask that those stay. As to the current charge of grand theft auto, the $1,000 bond, I feel is a fair amount.
$9.99, no return to enterprise. Thank you. Good luck, ma'am.
Thank
Erica,
you.
you're welcome. Erica Beebe. Erica Beebe.
She's at North Broward as well, Your Honor.
Okay, North Broward, I need Erica Beebe. Thank you. Are you Erica Beebe, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, good morning. You have obtained controlled substance by fraud. $1,000 bond, count 2 is possession of controlled substance without a prescription. $1,000 bond, count 3 is possession of alprazolam, Xanax, $1,000 bond. Count 4, we're not gonna deal with today. It's a park handicap zone. The court does find probable cause. Total $3,000 bond. Is your address 8417 Northwest 40th Court, Sunrise?
Yes.
All right, what say you, defense?
Your Honor, in speaking with Ms. Beebe, she is currently taking care of her granddaughter. Unfortunately, due to some circumstances, her daughter is no longer in the picture, and that responsibility was left solely upon Ms. Beebe. She currently is unable to work because of that responsibility of taking care of her very young granddaughter, as well as her own son. And she recently fractured her tailbone. I would ask the court to consider an ROR on Ms. Beebe's cases of simple possession.
What's her priors?
Yes, petty thefts from like satellite cases, Your Honor, could be still, I'm not sure if they're still pending or not, but. I'm sorry. She also had another petty theft from the West Satellite.
I have to tell you, Mr. Vargas, the court has concerns. You indicated that she's a caretaker for a child, and based on the allegations, I'm gonna ask the state to, make a phone call. And,
Your Honor, Ms. Beebe has indicated to me that there's already been communications by DCF.
okay, well, I'll ask the state to please call up and communicate that to the appropriate authorities, okay? Just to check on it. What say you, state, with regard to counts 1, 2, and 3?
Budget, as far as the bond amounts, $1,000 each, they seem to be fair amounts for a third-degree felony. Pretty brazen to be calling to pretending to be a office member from a doctor's office and attempting to get not one but multiple narcotic prescriptions.
Okay, court's gonna put her on standard pretrial supervision. Have her call in 7 days a week. Report 1 time a month. Court's gonna order no alcohol, intoxicants, random testing at defendant's expense. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. You have to report within 24 hours of your release. They'll instruct you on what you have to do, okay? You're welcome. Ashley Burgess?
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Burgess, you have possession of heroin, $1,000 bond, possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Count 3, possess and/or use drug paraphernalia. The court does find probable cause. The total bond is $2,100. Do you have a mailing address, ma'am?
No,
You
not
have-
at the moment.
Okay. All right, what say you, defense?
Your Honor, I did speak with Ms. Burgess over the phone. She has a couple of traffic infractions in her past. I would ask the
No
court to
prior
ROR.
history?
No Broward priors, no.
How long has your client resided in Broward County?
Actually, how long have you lived in Broward County?
Little less than a year.
I'm gonna put her on standard pretrial supervision. You have to report within 24 hours of your release. The deputy will give you one back. Not gonna require any bond if you don't show up within 24 hours. You're open tomorrow, right? Okay. They're open tomorrow, even though the courthouse is closed, ma'am. Pretrial services office is open. You're gonna have to report 1 time a month.
Okay.
Do you have a phone?
No,
All right, I want you calling in 3 times a week. Pretrial services will tell you how you can accomplish that if you don't have a phone, okay? Thank you. Michelle Ellen? Good morning, ma'am.
good morning.
All right, so you have a charge of false ID given to a law enforcement officer, $100 bond. You have 2 probation violations, no bond holds. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna set bond on count 1 at $1. The other 2 are no bond holds.
Judge, on count 2, is the case number on the file?
No,
Can you put in 18001311?
Michelle Tambolini?
it's the same one as 3. Okay, that's case number 181311, CF 10A. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you, okay? Can we, what division is she in? Is there a reason that she's not set before a division judge?
Duffy, Your Honor. I did see she does have an upcoming court date on the 24th.
Okay,
I let Ms. Tambolini know that when I spoke to
okay.
her.
All right, thank you. Crystal Harsh.
Yes,
All right, good morning, ma'am. You have retail theft, $300 plus, coordinate with others, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is a capious misdemeanor we previously found probable cause. Total bond is $1,500. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, I did speak with Miss Harsh over the phone. She's presently unable to post any bond. She she would reside in Sunrise with her father. I understand that she's currently listed as at-large, but she does have an address to provide the court. I would ask the court to consider an ROR in the alternative standard pretrial supervision.
What's her mailing address, Mr. Vargas?
Your Honor, it's 9841
Okay,
Northwest.
Northwest
19th
19th Place. Thank you, Crystal. And that's in Sunrise, Florida.
is that an apartment, ma'am, or a home?
It's a house, Your Honor.
Okay, what's the zip code?
What's the zip-
33322.
Okay, and you're asking for?
Your Honor, I'm asking the court to ROR or standard pretrial for Ms. Harsh.
State, what's her prior history?
Judge, possession of drug paraphernalia in 2000, 2 of them in 2016, DWLS 2017, drug paraphernalia in 2018, and a cocaine in May of this year.
All right, I'm gonna put her on standard pretrial supervision. You have to report within 24 hours of your release.
So be released today?
Hold on. You're gonna go to standard, ma'am, pay attention. That's just
Yeah.
a map, okay? You're gonna go to standard pretrial supervision. You're gonna call in 7 days a week.
Okay.
You have to report, listen to me, this is important. You have to report within 24 hours of your release. So if you get out before 3 p.m. today, and you can get over to the main jail, it's by the courthouse, go over
Okay.
there, check in with pretrial. You do not have to report monthly.
Okay.
And she does not have to report after court.
Okay.
No, I'm just putting her on the, count one. Okay?
Okay.
She has no bond is being required. No ROR her. Hold on, ma'am. You have a capious felony. What is her court date on that? And there's no return to the public's, ma'am?
Okay.
You go back there, you'll be arrested. That's at 2501 East Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You know when her next court date is?
Your Honor, it looks like the case, the capias was issued at a satellite, so she'll likely get a court date down here. But I don't see an upcoming court date because her arraignment was
Okay,
not
can she
held.
afford a bond?
No.
She cannot, Your Honor.
All right, here's the thing. If you don't show up on this capias for the prostitution charge,
Yeah.
it's your responsibility to follow your court dates. You can go to browardclerk.org, look it up. If you don't show up and you come here again, I'm not gonna ROR you on it. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna go off the record. Daryl Vollmer,
He's a medical research, Your Honor.
what page is he?
Page 9.
Hello, ma'am, how are you?
That's not Mr. Ballmer, Your Honor, that's Mr. Genesee.
Okay. Huh? Keith Jennison, is that your name, sir?
Jennison, ma'am, yes.
Okay, good morning, sir. You have
How are
Good, fine, thanks for asking. You have loitering or prowling, no bond required, resisting an officer without violence, $100 bond. Count 3 is not for magistrate, and so that's just a civil traffic infraction, bike regulations, and 4 and 5 are bond surrenders for $1,500 and $100. The court does find probable cause. Total bond is $100 here. The court will do bond at $1. So on the charge we're here today, loitering or prowling, no bonds required, resisting an officer, obstructing without violence is a $1 bond. All right?
Thank you, ma'am.
You do have the 2 bond surrenders for $1,500 and $100 that you're gonna have to deal with, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. You have a great day.
You too. I'm holding on to that for a moment till Michelle gets back. Kenneth Parsons?
Mr. Parsons is here present, Judge, but count 2 is municipal ordinance.
Oh, all right, then we'll have to wait. Thank you for pointing that out. James Underwood?
Your president, main judge.
Okay, Mr. Underwood, you have a KP as traffic, $250 for operating without a valid license. Court finds probable cause for his arrest. What say you, defense?
Judge, this being Mr. Underwood, he wishes to ask the court if he will consider resolving this case today.
Sure, state.
I'm gonna look up the priors right now, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm looking up the priors right now.
Okay, perfect.
Judge, I don't see an actual driver's license, I just see an ID card. He's 55 years old. We've got multiple priors over the past 20 years I can go into, if Your Honor would like to hear.
No, that's okay. What's your offer?
What's that? Your Honor, I just asked for an adjudication time served on the charge.
He wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
All right, is your name James Underwood?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. It's UNDERWOOD.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Romero, who's standing next to you, that you want to resolve your case today and give up your right to a trial and to have the state prove their case against you.
I do, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, I'm not.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
Okay, are you satisfied with the advice that you received from Mr. Romero?
I am.
All right. And how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest to no operating without a valid DL?
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication time served, $293 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, sir.
Have a good day. Kevin Lee McFadden, please.
Those are municipal ordinance cases, Judge. They're gonna be waiting on the city public defender, okay? All right, no problem.
Okay, give me one moment. Kenan Wright?
He's here present, Judge O'Malley.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wright, you have resisting an officer obstructing, oh, hold on 1 second, Michelle. Sorry, one more thing. You need to make a copy of this.
Are they all local?
Call them. Okay. This is, I don't want it coming out like this.
Go, mama.
Sorry about that. All right, Mr. Wright, you are charged with resisting an officer obstructing without violence, $100 bond. Count 2 is trespassing, unoccupied structure or conveyance, no bond required. The court does find probable cause. Court is gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims in the case with the initials KD and SC. Do you understand, sir, what that means? All right. All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking with Mr. Wright, I advise him not to resolve this case. He has a clean record. I don't want to see him blemish it. There might be other options open to Mr. Wright, so at this time I'm going to ask Your Honor to consider an ROR on Mr. Wright's behalf.
Can he afford the bond?
I can ask him, Judge, but I know he's working at Pollo Tropical, and as you know, that's minimum wage, so let me ask him.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle.
Judge, he personally cannot. He would have to contact his mother and see if she would post the $100 bond.
What's his mailing address?
What's your address, sir?
18 Court.
425 Northwest 18th Court, Pompano Beach, Judge.
Okay.
Just turned 18 3 days ago.
He doesn't have any adult priors, but he has significant, juvenile priors.
Judge, he just turned
What-
18 3 days ago,
what's
so
his
he's got
juvenile
significant
priors?
juveniles.
Go on sidebar for that.
No, we don't. We don't have to go on sidebar. Go ahead.
Battery, missile into a no. Sorry, Your Honor, hold on 1 second, we're getting there.
Just anything of sum and substance.
Bomb threat, burglary to an occupied structure, grand theft auto, burglary to an occupied structure, resisting without violence, grand theft auto. Go down again. Battery on an educational employee, burglary, petty theft, criminal mischief, grand theft auto, burglary conveyance, trespassing, grand theft, petty theft, criminal mischief,
All right,
burglary.
that's enough, thank you. All right,
Judge, if the court's not comfortable with an ROR, he did give me his phone number to his mom, and I'll call her after court for her to post the $100 bond.
They're just
yeah,
gonna
I'm
be
not
asking for-
comfortable with that, and court's gonna impose a couple conditions. No contact with the co-defendant, Kelsey Macklin. Until further order of court.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, sir, good luck to you. Herman Lewis,
Mr. Lewis, come on up, please. Mr. Herman Lewis? Come on up, sir.
Judge, for the record, that would be over state's objection. We'd be asking for at least a $5,000 bond on Mr. Wright, based on his criminal history.
thank you. Okay, Mr. Lewis, you have DUI, alcohol or drugs, first offense, $500 bond. Count 2 is DUI, unlawful blood alcohol level greater than a .15. The court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, I'm gonna ask for an ROR. If the court's not comfortable, then Mr. Lewis did give me the phone number of his girlfriend, and I plan on calling her after court.
What's your mailing address, sir? 2801 Somerset Drive, 118, Lauderdale Lakes?
Yes,
Does he have any prior state?
He has old priors, 1979, he had a manslaughter conviction. And
Is that alcohol related?
I'll check and see, I don't know if I don't think in 1974, false name, Julio.
And Judge, on that manslaughter, which happened over 30 years ago, he basically did his time, and he had his rights restored in 1988. So at this time, he is a
okay.
registered voter.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, so the court will ROR him, but the court is gonna impose a condition, no alcohol or intoxicants, prescription meds are allowed, okay? Thank you, good luck to you, sir. Michael Condon.
Mr. Condon, come on up, please.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Condon. You have grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Counts two, these are ad charges. We're starting with count two, Mr. Romero, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Grand theft auto, $1,000 bond, I don't know what count one was. But counts 3, 4, 5, and 6 are burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed, we need to talk about bond. 7 and 8 are the same, grand theft, 5,000 or more, but less than 10,000, $1,000 each. And count 9 is dealing in stolen property. The court does find probable cause. Court is gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case with the initials FLM. You need me to tell you what that means, sir? I don't mind. That means no contact in person, calling, texting, writing, nothing on social media, no contact through third parties, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, what say you state on counts 3 through 6, and do you know what count 1 is?
Judge, I would ask for an additional bond of $3,500 on each count that he does not have a bond on for right now.
I can't hear you, can you speak into the mic? I'm sorry.
The state is asking for a $3,500 bond on each additional count that he does not have a bond on. The defendant's criminal history includes fleeing and eluding, multiple felony driving while license suspended, habitual offender charges, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, possession of cannabis with intent to deliver, dealing in stolen property, possession of alprazolam.
What's the time frame on this? What's the
These
most
are,
recent felony?
the most recent felony, Your Honor, is the fleeing and eluding, leaving the scene of an accident, reckless, and felony habitual offender charges from 2014. He has a current habitual offender charge from February of this year as well. The other charges were back from 2014, 2008, 2006, et cetera. All within the last 10 years.
Judge,
Hold on, just give me 1 second, because I realized I forgot something. When I told him no victim contact, direct or indirect, I should have added the initials TT and the ivory tower.
Who is that?
Or maybe it's the Ivy Tower. Yes, Ivy Tower 101. And no return to Ivy Tower. Maybe it's 4 Tower, I don't know. Looks like Ivy. 101 Northeast 3rd Ave, it is Ivy, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Go ahead, defense.
Judge, Mr. Condon's been here over the weekend on a $1,000 bond on a grand theft. And as you can see, he's still in custody, so financially he can't afford even a $1,000 bond. He's homeless, unfortunately, and he advised me he has no mailing address. He also advised me that he's currently not employed. He owns no sort of assets, no sort of property, so financially he is indigent. He's 33 years old, Judge. I ask you to take that into consideration to determine a reasonable release conditions on Mr. Condon's behalf.
Okay, court's gonna set bond at $999 on 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and 7 and 8, and count 9, the court will set bond at $1,500. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Casey Mulhall. Hello, come on up. Are you here on that case?
No.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Mulhar, good morning, sir. You're here on a capias for loitering or prowling. You no-showed at a hearing on September 7, 2018. Going before your judge, Mindy Solomon, court does find probable cause for your arrest for the capias. Bond set at $500. He has a couple bond surrenders which aren't for magistrate. So, what say you, defense? Anything?
Judge, nothing after one, that's a municipal ordinance. I was just explaining to him as far as the cases 2, 3, and 4 is not for magistrate, his bond's been surrendered, his bond, I believe, is a total of $3,000.
My bad, let's recall them when when they get here. Thank you. We're gonna recall you, sir. Victor Fleming,
No problem.
thank you. Okay, Mr. Fleming,
Yes, Your Honor, he's coming.
thank you. State, do you see a test for the cocaine here?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir, how are you?
Okay.
All right, you're charged with possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond, count 2. Possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. I see a test, field tested. Okay,
Says field
positive
tested.
cocaine, I see it, and the cannabis court does find probable cause. Bond set at $1,000
Your
total.
Honor,
Want us to take yours after this?
If I can call, I'm gonna step out in the hallway and call the.
Sure.
Perfect, thank you.
We're supposed to be getting our phones soon. We got the jack,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Your Honor, as far as the probable cause for the possession, I mean, it says that the narcotics that were tested in this case were found in a styrofoam cup somewhere outside of the vehicle that Mr. Fleming was in. Doesn't say whether there's another occupant in the vehicle. Also, it does say that there was another occupant. Doesn't say whether there was anybody else around the vehicle. Doesn't say where the vehicle was located. I would argue that the location of this styrofoam cup, wherever it was, it just says it was somewhere outside of this vehicle, is too attenuated to pin it solely on Mr. Fleming.
Nowhere around me.
Victor, don't say anything.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
That's all right, sir. Okay, for probable cause purposes, I understand down the road, I appreciate your argument. Court is gonna find probable cause for both counts or keep my probable cause finding. What say you, defense, with regard to the $1,000 bond?
Well, Your Honor, I did get a phone number for somebody from Mr. Fleming. I did attempt to make a call, but it says that the phone number which I got is unable to receive phone calls at this time. He lives with his mother in Fort Lauderdale. I would ask the court to consider either. Actually, Victor, would you want to do pretrial release, or do you think you're going to be able to post the bond?
Pretrial release.
Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider standard pretrial release on Mr. Fleming's case.
But for the record, he's also actually out on bond on an existing case right now as well.
Whose division is it?
Let me check. No, it's this one. Oh, that one. Judge Coleman's division, Your Honor.
Want to verify the number, maybe? Is there another number you can call, sir?
The phone number?
My hesitation is he's out on bond, he has another pending case.
Victor, do you have a different phone number that I can call?
Yes, 954 444 4568.
All right, we're gonna recall your case, sir. Have a seat, okay? Who's that at that number?
Rolanda Yancey.
Okay, thank you.
Proceed on.
Michael Della Rosa?
Mr. De La Rosa is here, present judge at Maine, he is approaching.
Okay, good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Morning.
You state your first and last name?
Jasmine Hernandez.
Okay, and your relationship to Mr. Della Rosa?
I'm his fiance,
All right,
the mother of his kids.
okay. All right, Mr. Della Rosa, you have 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. It's a capious, not in custody, so the court finds probable cause. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victims in the case, with the initials MJ and BJ. What that means, sir, is no contact in person, calling, texting, writing, nothing on social media, and no contact through third parties. That means no passing messages while you're in the jail, whether or not you're in the jail. Court is going to also order no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. And if you are released, you are to, and you do have possession of any, you are to surrender them immediately to your local police department. What say you, State?
Your Honor, I would ask for a $5,000 bond on each count based on the charges and the use of a firearm involved. I also see a prior grand theft from Dade in 2003.
Okay, what say you, defense, and then we'll hear from his fiance.
Judge, as you heard, he had a grand theft which he received a withhold over 15 years ago. He's a registered voter here in Broward County. He's a working father. He lives at his home with his fiance. They have 2 kids, which one's in preschool, one's in elementary school. They both work. He works in a construction company. He's been doing so well that in his construction company that he's ascended. He's now a supervisor there. When he was, questioned by a law enforcement officer, that he didn't know what this was about. They informed him it was allegedly of an incident that took place in January earlier this year. He strenuously denies these accusations. He's looking forward to his day in court. Judge, he's just wanting to get home to his kids and his fiance. He has many responsibilities at his job. Judge, I understand as far as the nature of the allegations are serious, but they are allegations. He will be going to court. Judge, at this time, he's going to work on it a little bit with his fiance, but under the situation, I get a $5,000 on each count. Is something that they're gonna try and do. So, considering everything, Judge, he's nothing to add further on
So
this
you're
case.
saying you agree for purposes of today, $5,000 bond each count?
If that's it, yes, Judge,
It's too
because
much.
basically he's looking
All
forward to
right,
his day in court.
$5,000 each count. I'm sorry, ma'am, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes. When this happened, he was pulling up from work. This is back in January. We've lived together.
Guys, don't say nothing.
Yeah, but you don't have a gun. Okay. Okay. The $5,000 bond, though, that's the lowest that it could be because we have 2 small children. I'm not I'm not at work right now. I had to call in a family emergency, and that's a lot of money. We have a 3 and a 4-year-old. They're not big kids. They're not in school right now because of this. Is there a way that can be lowered to something more reasonable?
Unfortunately, ma'am, based on the allegations, someone, and I know they're just allegations at this point, but the court's gonna keep the $5,000 each count. Okay? Thank you, good luck to you. Andrew Dalbert? Here you go, Jackie. Andrew Dalbert, please.
He's here, present, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Dalbert. You have
Morning.
burglary, occupied dwelling unarmed, 2 counts. Count 3 is false owner info for pawn items less than $300, $1,000 bond. I'm sorry, Mr. Shade, I forgot you were there. I'll call you right after this one, I promise. Dealing in stolen property, 3,500, 3,500 counts 4 or 5. State, what say you on counts 1 and 2?
Judge, I'd ask for standard $1,000 bond on each of those counts.
Okay. So it will be 1, 2, 3, $10,000 total. Court does find probable cause. Court is gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in the case with the initials IWE and SAS. Do you understand what that means, sir? If you don't, I don't mind explaining it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, we believe 1 and 2, the $1,000 on each count, which the state has suggested, is reasonable. So we're not asking Your Honor to take any action on that. What I'm going to be asking is on counts 4 and 5, the $3,500 bond on each count. My understanding, Judge, he's 20 years old, been here a majority of his life, about 16 years. He works for a company called Greenland Landscaping. He's been there for about 2 months. He lives in Davie with his mother. His mother works at Publix. My understanding, he has no prior record. He's a registered voter here in Broward County. He's going to be contacting his mother to help post his bond. He thinks that basically she can come up with some, but not what it's currently set at. So that's why we're asking on counts 4 and 5 alone to consider reducing it to $1,000 on each count. So basically, if you had all the counts together, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be a total of $5,000, Judge. And that would we be asking, Judge.
State?
Judge, I think that the bonds are more than fair considering the second-degree felonies attached and, again, him going into homes that were occupied at the time to steal the bicycles.
He did go in the garage and take the bicycle. What's his mailing address? Is it 9311 Orange Grove Drive, 101?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 1,000 on each count, no victim contact, and, forgot, no return to where these alleged incident occurred. If you need the exact addresses, you can ask your attorney. Thank you, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Shea, let's take yours.
Judge, the first matter is on page 9, Kenneth Parsons.
You don't have to span?
Do I have
Mr.
who?
Parsons, Kenneth Parsons. Mr. Parsons.
Judge, I wasn't able to speak to Mr. Parsons because I couldn't wake him evidently, or they thought he was out of the room. So I spoke to the other gentleman.
Okay, so he has, Mr. Parsons, good morning, sir. Can you see your attorney, Mr. Shea?
The gentleman in the bottom, middle.
Can you see him, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you have drug paraphernalia, possess and or use. Mr. Romero is representing you on that. That's the gentleman next to you. And you have a capious misdemeanor because you failed to appear in court on a municipal ordinance case. This is for obstructing pedestrian traffic. Court does find probable cause for your arrest for that. Bond set at $25. What say you, we'll start with you, Mr. Romero.
Judge, Mr. Parsons wishes to resolve this case today.
All right, and is that the same for the defense?
I'll follow his lead, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Parsons, both attorneys, you want to ask him, would you like to ask him some questions since you didn't have an opportunity to speak to him?
Judge, just want to make sure, I'm sure the public defender inside the courtroom, Ms. Ramirez, went over everything with court costs, having to pay that. Is that correct?
Yes, and it's Mr. Romero.
Ramiro, what did I say, Ramirez? Oh, my
Ramiro.
bad. Sorry, Ramiro.
No problem. Shite.
It's early. This is my first hearing of the day.
No problem.
Hey, Deb. All right, so, state you have an offer on count 1,
Your Honor, adjudication time served.
adjudication time served,
You wish to accept these offers, adjudication time, sir?
$293 in court costs.
And just what we went over, you have court costs $293, you have 6 months to pay. If you don't pay, those scorecards in 6 months, your driver's license will be suspended, and the additional late penalty fee of $25. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
You wish to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Parsons, on our matter, it's gonna be $78 in court costs, and the exact same thing with your license as well.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell, that's your left? You swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your name is Kenneth Avery Parsons, Parsons.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, put your hand down. It's my understanding through your two attorneys you wish to resolve your cases today, plead guilty or no contest, and give up your right to a trial and to have the state or the city prove their case against you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No, ma'am.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No, ma'am.
How do you want to plead to possession of drug paraphernalia, possess and/or use, and obstructing pedestrian traffic? Guilty, not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea. Adjudication time served on each count. On the possession, count 1, Madam Clerk, it's $293 in court costs. On the municipal ordinance, $78 in court costs. You have 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. What's your next case?
Judge, on page 10, Kevin McFadden.
All right. Okay, Kevin Lee McFadden.
Judge, I spoke to,
yes.
I
Good
spoke to
morning, sir.
Mr. McFadden, get behind the podium over there. There you go.
Yeah.
Can you see your attorney? Wave to him, Mr. Shade. You see your attorney, Mr. Shade?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. McFadden, you have enter or refuse to leave bus, enter or refuse to leave bus, trespass private property. Court does find probable cause for your arrest with the capias. Bonds are set at $225. What say you, Mr. Shade?
Judge, I spoke to Mr. McFadden. He'd like to resolve all matters. I told him about the court cost, that he'd have 6 months to pay. He was concerned about that. I told him that there will be late fees involved, and it may affect his driver's license and credit.
Adjudication time served, $78 on each count. 6 months to pay, partial
That's two-
payments accepted.
That's $234, Mr. McFadden. Would you like to do that, sir?
Which property?
Would you like to resolve it? It's gonna be $200.
$70. Yeah.
Okay.
$78 each case. You have 3 cases.
I gotta pay all that for multiplied fees?
Well, if you
All
want,
right,
you
yeah,
can have a
okay.
trial, sir, but
Yeah, I pay, yeah. Just keep piling me up. No weapon forms of prosper against me.
Sir, we can go to trial if you'd like. We can be ROR,
No,
but
it's all right, I'll just pay, I gotta get out here and go to work. Thank you, Jesus.
we'll come back.
Time.
Don't go anywhere.
All right. Maybe you'll have.
She's gonna be over on this table. You got Howard running the office.
it appears if he's trespassing, I believe it's going to be a church.
He's got 2 at the
Okay,
bus
if he
station.
wants to resolve his case, and no return to 1805 Pierce Street.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah or yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your name, put your hand down. Is your name Kevin Lee McFadden, McFadden?
Yeah,
You have to say yes. Yes,
yes, Your Honor.
there you go.
All right, it's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Shate, you want to resolve your 3 cases today and plead guilty or no contest to trespass and enter or refuse to leave a bus 2 times? Is that what you
Yes,
want to
Your
do? Want to give up your right to have the city prove their case against you?
Yeah, give up all my rights.
Is that yes, you give up all your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, anybody forcing you to do this?
No,
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
no,
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
no.
You understand you can't go back to 1805 Pierce Street. If you go
Yeah,
back
I
there,
understand.
let me finish, sir. You understand that if you go back to 1805 Pierce Street, you will be arrested.
All right, back on 18-5 Pierce Street, all right. Thank you, Your Honor. Very much.
How do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contact.
To all 3 charges?
Yes. Your
And you
Honor.
feel that pleading no contest is in your best interest?
Yes, all the time.
All right.
All around the world.
Well, I'm just asking about today, not all the time, sir.
Oh,
I'm just
Yes,
asking
sir.
about today. All right, court's gonna accept his plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered, court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, adjudication time served, on each count, $78 in court costs, on each count, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted, no return to 1805 Pierce Street, Hollywood, Florida. If you go back there, you'll be arrested. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Good luck to you, sir. Any other cases,
all
Mr.
right,
Shade?
thank you very much.
One other matter, Judge, page 21, Walter Williams. He's got 9 different
Oh, yeah.
matters.
All right, take care.
Okay, Walter Lewis Williams.
He's approaching, Judge.
No, 2 felonies.
No, he has a bunch of charges. Okay, are you Walter Lewis Williams, sir?
Yes.
All right, you have resisting an officer, obstructing without violence, no bond required. You have a municipal ordinance violation. For lodging in the open. No bond required for that. You do have corruption by threat, public servant, or family. Need to talk about bond. Counts 4 and 5 are actually not for magistrate. You have 2 no bond holds. Counts 6, 7, 8, and 9. You have capious misdemeanors. Those are all set at $1 each. And he failed to appear before Judge Marina Garcia Woods, a no-show at arraignment on a resisting an officer with violence and battery on a Leo. Court does find probable cause. What say you state on count 3?
Judge, I'm just reviewing it right now, what the comment was. Judge, the comments of the officer specifically, where I see you're married, I'm gonna meet your wife soon. Specifically calls them out by name. I got you, I'll be seeing you and your family. Based on the threats, based on the criminal history, Judge, I'd be asking for $1,000 bond at least for the 3rd-degree felony. You've got a prior resisting without in 2017, another resisting without, disorderly conduct, trespass, disorderly conduct, disorderly intoxication, and these are all within the last year to 18 months. Judge, I see also a pending battery Leo charge from June of this year, where he's out on bond.
I have to tell you, I have a concern. He says in here, Mr. Romero, killing you will be fun. And then it says, I got you, I'll be seeing you and your family. And then goes on and on, so. What say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, I understand the allegations, and Mr. Williams is denying that he said those remarks, so obviously that's gonna be litigated in future court date. However, I do see there on counts 4 and 5, I believe on the case that the state was referring to, he is being held no bond on the matter, so no matter what we do here today, he's gonna be on no bond, you have to see his division judge. So at this time, I'm gonna be asking for a $1,000 bond on count 3. And Judge, I'm gonna also ask you to sign a photo order, photographing the injuries that Mr. Williams sustained from law enforcement, Judge, so I'm gonna ask for a photo order.
Okay, any special conditions, state? Normally I don't do no victim contact, but court's gonna do no contact, direct or indirect. With the officer, Jonathan Fiallo, and his family. You are to maintain 1,000 feet at all times. Court's gonna do a GPS level 2. Court's gonna do a $5,000 bond on count 3, leave all the rest of the bonds in place. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I'll be on the other side if you need me.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, court's gonna take a recess. Sandra Despain Cesspit. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that yours?
Yes, Judge. Good morning, Judge. She's over in North Broward.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Miss Cesspit?
Yes.
All right. I hope I said that right. You're charged with the municipal ordinance. Can you see your attorney, Mr. I was going to say Shade, Mr. McLawrence?
Yeah.
Okay, you are charged with a municipal ordinance violation of trespassing. Court does find probable cause for your arrest, $25 bond. Mr. McLawrence, the court does have concerns based on the statements in the probable cause affidavit.
Judge,
What say you?
I spoke with Ms. Cesspit, and I had a lot of concerns from speaking with her. I did speak with Joanne, Judge Ren's JA, and she said the earliest that they could get her on that docket would be Thursday.
Okay. All right, so let's do a referral to Judge Ren. You're gonna write. Did you set it already with Judge Ren?
Yeah, she told me she's setting it for Thursday morning.
Court is gonna order no return to 1728 Northwest 7th Ave, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And no victim contact. So if you go back there, you'll be arrested. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials RAS. And the court is gonna set her bond at $1,000. Thank you, good luck to you.
Hello, you speak with Miss Sandra Cesspit?
Does she speak English?
She does,
Yeah, I
Judge.
speak English.
Judge,
Okay.
Tell me what's going on again. My lawyer see in front of you, they anytime put different camera and I see in camera that I'm so angry. I'm not angry. Let me see. What do you say? $25 and what is the day on tango and I need to give?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your bond is $1,000. The judge is sending you to another division.
$1,000 was background. I'm here in Sheriff's office. They told me here in correctional department, and you too, $25 only for trespassing, not for the other. Remember, around of
Okay,
in front
ma'am,
of the
the court raised your
I
bond.
see you down
The
there.
courts, ma'am, raised
Where
your
is the
bond.
court right now?
Deputy,
Where
if
is
you
the
could mute the mic.
$1,000? Just I go back to Cuba.
Thank you,
Give me
ma'am.
$1,000 and I go back.
Mr. McLawrence, maybe you can contact your client and explain it to her. I don't want to upset her even more, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, I have one
Do
last.
you want to talk to her now or want to
I spoke to her, Judge.
Okay,
Didn't,
thank you.
didn't get very far, but I did speak with her.
Okay.
Judge, on page 15 of the docket, there's Sean Decker. He's also at North Broward, and he's a medical reset.
Sorry, what page?
Page 15 of the docket,
North Broward?
yes, and he's a medical reset. Yes, ma'am.
What about Casey Mulhall?
I'm not familiar with that person, Judge. What?
Oh, it's a Hollywood. Finish this one? Thank you, Mr. McLawrence. Did we do Molo? We recalled. I think it's, let me get Mr. Shade on.
Casey Moho, he's
Yeah.
here at Maine.
Yeah, let me get Mr. Shade. Ah, you have one left. It's Casey Mulhall. They have a $500 bond. They're at the main jail. Mulhall. All right, do you know when you can come down? Because we're getting near the end. All right, let's do it on the phone then, okay? All right, hold on. All right, Mr. Mulhall?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I have Mr. Shate, your attorney, on the phone. I don't know what happened before. In any event, you have a KPS misdemeanor for loitering or prowling. You no-showed at a hearing status conference September 7th, 2018, and you also have counts 2, 3, and 4 are not for magistrate, but those are bond surrenders, which for felony cases, which I'm sure you're aware of, obviously, because you had to be returned to the jail. The KPS misdemeanor is going to be a $500 bond. It's going before Judge Mindy Solomon, and that's going to be set in her division. There's no date for that. So what say you, Mr. Shate?
Just if we could, can we just set that at the same time, just let it go to the division, to all be handled at the same time?
Well, the bond surrenders are for felonies. They're for CF cases. He's not here for that. All he's here for on is the MO case.
Okay.
So this is what I'll do. I'll leave the bond at, are you gonna be able to bond out, sir, on the 500? No? All right, this is what I'll do. I'll set his bond at $1 on the KPS misdemeanor. He still has the $3,000 in bond, which is not before me, okay? Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Isaiah Underwood? See you later, Dick.
Mr. Underwood? He's coming up, Judge.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Underwood. You have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. You do have a no bond hold. Court does find probable cause. You're going before your division judge, Judge Martin Fine, October 5th at 8:45 a.m. The court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, considering has a no bond hold, nothing to add at this time.
Court will set the bond at $999. All right, next one is Dwayne Christopher Bunsey. And we have to readdress Victor Fleming. I don't know what happened with that. Hey, Mr. Bunsey, you have distribute, deliver cocaine, $2,500 bond. Deliver, distribute cannabis, $1,000 bond, sir. Count 3 is possessed with intent to sell, manufacture, or deliver cannabis, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is possession of controlled substance without a prescription, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, at this time, nothing to add from the defense, Judge.
Okay, so can he bond?
Yes. Could you see if his bond's posted already?
Not yet. Does he need somebody to call somebody, or?
No, I'm gonna be taking care
All
of that.
right, let me know if it's an issue, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Macayos vermilis,
I've been informed bonded.
Richard Casetta,
Norfolk.
hello,
How you doing, ma'am?
fine, thanks. All right, you're Mr. Cachetta,
Yes, ma'am.
is that how you say your last name?
Cachetta,
Okay,
ETA.
yeah, Cachetta. All right, possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 2, manufacture or produce cannabis, $1,000 bond. Possess and/or use drug paraphernalia. And then counts 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are possession of a weapon or an ammo by other state felon. Court does find probable cause for your arrest. What say you, defense?
Your Honor, I did speak.
Hold on, we have an
Mr.
attorney
Cachetta,
here.
don't speak.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I should have started with the state, they're HGs. What say you, state, on counts 4 through 8? Sorry, Mr. Vargas.
Judge, I asked for a $2,500 bond on each count. Second degree charge.
Pardon?
$2,500 bond on each count,
I didn't hear the comment after that.
based on the out-of-state files.
Okay. Defense, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, there's a teletype check. There's no actual case number listed on here. Mr. Cachetta does intend to get to the bottom of this because he's confused as to what prior felony conviction they're referring to. It does say that he was very cooperative with law enforcement in the probable cause affidavit. As to the bond amounts as they're set, Mr. Cachetta receives $1,000 a month in disability. He lives with his son, and he's actually the sole caregiver for his wife. His wife has recently suffered 2 strokes, so she is in poor health, to say it
She's in the
one way.
hospital at this time because of this.
Thank you, Mr. Cachetta. Thank you, Mr. Cachetta.
I'm sorry.
So, Your Honor, it is imperative that that Mr. Cachetta is able to be out there so he can keep up with his obligation to care for his wife. These bond amounts, it's not going to be possible for him to do so. If he has no, Mr. Cachetta, hang on a second. He has no criminal history in Florida,
Just
and
relax,
he's
sir, okay?
disputing his New York priors, his inability to post any bond. I would ask the court to consider him out on supervised release.
When's the last time, state, he's had contact with the criminal justice system?
81.
Mr. Cachetta, don't
Sir.
say anything, please.
Because she was talking to me, I'm sorry.
No. Do me a favor, mute the mic. Mute the mic in front of you.
She said he hasn't made a contact.
Yeah,
If
2006.
you can't hear us, let us know.
But it was dropped. But then he has New York priors, Your Honor.
When
Judge,
was that?
the New York priors are old, from the 1980s. 1981 Berg dwelling.
The last time he's had contact with the system is how many years ago?
Scrolling down now, 1988. 1988 New York, Your Honor, and then the BUI that was dropped in West Palm from 2006, was it?
So, because I have Long Beach, New York, 1981.
88 was the last conviction.
30 years ago. I'm
Yes, Your
not
Honor.
listening it. Okay. The court finds probable cause, and you're asking for what kind of release?
I would ask for standard pretrial, Your Honor.
Can you afford any bond? Hold on, sir. You can talk now, but you gotta hit the mic.
Don't say
talk,
anything about
sir.
the facts of the case, Richard.
Thank you.
All right, all I wanted to say is, as far as the charges.
Don't talk about the charges,
To my
Richard.
son, they're
Richard, don't
inherited.
talk about the charges. Don't talk about what
My
happened.
wife has marijuana.
Sir, do you hear?
Yes, I hear. No, I can't afford bond. I can barely afford to eat. Look at my arm, look. I can't even afford teeth. I'm trying the dental college and over university.
How long have you lived at 641 Northwest 20th Street, Pompano Beach?
Going on 5 years, I bought the house for my son with my retirement.
How much do you have in your retirement account?
Nothing now. I bought it for him because I have end-stage COPD and I didn't want him to have to hassle with the courts with the inheritance taxes and everything. So I used whatever money I had and put the down payment and purchased
Sir,
the
that
house.
wasn't, I'm just asking you a question. Listen to the question.
Yes, ma'am.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
Not much. Maybe $400 or $500. Enough to cover bills. I have $1,000 a month I get in disability, $400 from disability in New York State, and my wife's disability.
How much disability?
I get $900 from Florida. I get $380 from New York.
All right, I'm gonna do a GPS level 2. They're gonna call your son, verify that you reside at that residence. What's your son's name and number?
I don't know his phone number.
What's his name?
His name is Brian Cachetta. He works at Broward Motorsports.
You might wanna call up Broward Motorsports.
You can also call my wife, who might be home now. I don't know where she is. Last I heard, she was
What's
in the
your wife's
hospital.
number, sir?
954-695-1459. I believe that's it.
Sir, I know you're not allowed, but I'm still gonna order no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Okay?
No problem.
All
The
right,
reason-
so, sir, don't talk about the facts of the case. It's that simple.
When do I get to talk about?
Not today.
Not today. Today's not your trial date. Today is just
Okay.
bond and probable cause. Okay? So the court found probable cause and put you on GPS level 2. You're gonna have to wear an ankle monitor. You're gonna have to give them a schedule. Well, sir, you can't afford the bond, so that's the lesser alternative, okay?
Okay, how much bond would I have to raise?
I would do a $2,500 bond.
A 20? Can't do it.
Okay. All right, thank you, sir. Call his wife and tell him that we need the number for the son to give to Miss Patrice. Thank you. Eric Savala.
Mr. Savella's approaching, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Savala, you have touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is obstruct, possess concealed handcuff key in custody, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. Is your mailing address 2211 Northeast 62nd Street, Fort Lauderdale?
I lost the probable cause. Is this a question? What did you just say? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
That's all right. All right, you have a touch or strike battery, $1,000 bond. Do you hear me on that?
I heard everything but the probable cause part, and then you
The
were
court
asking me
finds probable cause, saying on its face, it appears that you committed this crime. Today's not your trial day, so don't talk about the facts of your case,
something. I
okay?
understand, yes, ma'am.
So, total bond is $2,000. Can you afford that bond?
No, ma'am.
All right,
Probably
is
not.
your mailing address 2211 Northeast
Yes, ma'am.
62nd Street, Fort Lauderdale?
Yes, ma'am. I'm registered there actually permanently for over 5 years now as a career offender. From a long time ago, from 20 years ago.
Well, I appreciate your honesty. All right, so what say you, defense?
Judge, in speaking to Mr. Zavala, he very much wishes to dispute these allegations, and I told him today's not the day. He understands that. I'm quite confident after hearing Mr. Zavala. I believe on count 2, there is limited information on the probable cause affidavit regarding count number 2. Basically, this alleged handcuff key was on his key ring. Be quiet.
Everybody wants to be a lawyer today, but go ahead.
The alleged handcuff key was on his key ring. He actually gave the officer the key ring before he was actually placed in custody. When I looked up the definition of being in custody is when he was actually physically restraining handcuffs. And he wasn't at that time, but that detail the officer neglected to write that down. And also, from what Mr. Zavala is saying, it's not a handcuff key, it's actually a luggage key. So he's quite confident when we get that information to the case filer, they're gonna probably decline to file that count. So therefore.
But my concern is this touch or strike battery.
Correct, and I understand, that's the allegation that's gonna be a little bit more difficult. But as Mr. Zavala said, he does have a record, but yet he's been constantly updating his address. And from what he informs me, he said, no, basically recent contacts with the criminal justice system. He is working, he lives locally here in Fort Lauderdale. At that residence, he's kind of a sort of handyman, and that's how he manages to live. But from what he advised me, there's really nobody that's gonna be able to afford to post his monetary bond. What I'm gonna be asking, Judge, considering these are misdemeanor offense, count 1's a misdemeanor offense, Judge, I'm gonna be asking you to consider an ROR. If not, Your Honor, and I understand, since his record, we'd be asking you to consider releasing him on standard pretrial. He will then be supervised, and at least that will allow him to.
I'm not gonna do standard pretrial with someone having blood dripping down their face and the allegations here.
And then, Judge, at the very least, and I would ask you at this time to consider at least leave the monetary bond in place on count 1, the $1,000, and ROR count number 2. And he did give me the phone number of a friend that may be able, he's not sure, to come up with something. But if Your Honor's not pretrial, then I just ask you to leave the $1,000 bond in place on count 1 and ROR count 2.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Count 2, the felony charge, obviously I would ask that the counts at least stay at the bonds that they are. The defendant served 5 years in prison as an HOPRR status for aggravated stalking charge. He was released in that was in 2010. He's also had 7 failures to appear over the years. Failure to register as a career offender as well, based on the priors, based on his inability to appear in court. I would ask at least $1,000 bond, if not raised to $2,000 on each count.
Contact direct or indirect with the alleged victim with the initials LD. I am gonna put him on standard pretrial supervision. I'm gonna have him call in 7 days a week. My other alternative was to put him on a GPS. He has to report 1 time a month. I'm gonna do a $1,500 bond on count 1, and I'll do a $500 bond on count 2. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Sherrod Owens. Mr. Owens, you have possession of heroin, $1,000 bond. Count 2, possess and/or use drug paraphernalia. Count 3, trespass, failure to leave property upon order by owner. There's no bond required for that. Total bond is $1,000. Your mailing address, 2914 Northwest 6th Court, Pompano. All right.
That was your, okay.
Okay. What say you, defense?
Judge, Mr. Owens is not gonna be able to afford a bond. Unfortunately, right now, he's homeless. That address that you just stated, he can get his mail, that's where his sister resides.
Okay.
He's 26 years old. Right now, financially, he has nothing to attain, no assets, no money to make or anything like that. No one's gonna post his monetary bond, so we'd be asking you to consider on this drug offense. releasing Mr. Owens on pretrial release.
State?
Your Honor, I think the standard bond amount is fair based on his priors as well. It's a recent June time served for prostitution charged, trespass, petty theft, trespass, all in the last two years.
Wouldn't you rather have him on pretrial where he's monitored instead of just paying $100?
Judge, I don't know, somebody with multiple contacts with the law enforcement and police like that at some point, will he show up to court? I don't know, but at the same time, it's not his first time in contact. It's his at least 15th.
Right, court's gonna do standard pretrial supervision. Want him calling in 7 days a week. He's gonna have to find a way. And he's gonna have to report 1 time a month as well. Okay?
Yes, sir.
You have to report within 24 hours. Court does find probable cause if I didn't say it already. Victor Prosper, please. Come on up, Mr. Prosper.
Mr. Prosper, come on up, please.
Good morning, Mr. Prosper. You have count 1, carjacking without a firearm or weapon, $20,000 bond. Count 2 is domestic battery by strangulation, $20,000 bond. Count 3, ag assault with intent to commit a felony, $10,000 bond. Count 4 is a burglary with assault or battery. There's no bond attached to that. Count 5 is touch or strike battery, $20,000 bond. Count 6 is criminal mischief, $200 or less, first offense, $5,000 bond. Count 7 is false imprisonment, adult or child under 13 years of age, $10,000 bond. And count 8 is tampering in a misdemeanor proceedings. It's a no bond hold. Count 9 is fleeing or eluding a law enforcement, light siren active, $1,000 bond. Why does it say no bond on count 8 for a 3rd-degree felony? Can someone tell me? Is that a hold for magistrate? Okay. State, would you like to go first?
Judge, I think that the counts that have no bond at this point, I would ask to keep as is, as to the other counts as well, based on the seriousness of the charges. The bonds that was set by the judge that signed the warrant, I would ask that Your Honor keep as well.
Well, he's entitled to a review at first appearance. So what are you requesting on, as far as bond? Are you seeking a finding of proof evident presumption grade on count 4 or any other count?
Well, Judge, he's not entitled to a bond based on the, you mean as far as an Arthur hearing happening here in magistrate court?
No. He's entitled, when there's a warrant, he's entitled to a review, because that's done ex parte. So he's entitled to come here and have his bonds reviewed, because now's his opportunity. If I find proof evident presumption grade, if that's what the state's requesting, I'm not suggesting that, but I was
Yes,
just
Judge,
asking.
then-
I would reserve for it to be without prejudice for him to file a motion to set bond with his assigned division judge and request an Arthur hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask.
Before his division judge, not me.
Okay. I would ask that Your Honor find proof evident presumption grade at this time and keep the no bond hold on the count requiring the first punishable by life charge.
Okay. Okay, and is that on count 1 and 4? You're asking that, or what counts? It's count 8, I'm not gonna do it. It's not appropriate.
Yes, Judge.
All right. What's saying, Mr. Vargas?
Your Honor, I'm gonna be objecting to any potential finding of proof evident presumption grade by the court. All that we have before us is this affidavit to arrest. It's a very low standard that's needed. All that this is made to do is determine whether there's a probable cause to arrest a much lower standard than that of proof evident presumption great, which is the highest standard of proof in the criminal justice system. No witnesses have been called, there's been no evidence presented, and it's the defense's position that this warrant to arrest does not rise to the level necessary to meet the burden of proof evident presumption great. Therefore, we would ask the court to not make such a finding and to allow my colleague, Mr. Romero, to proffer into the record Mr. Prosper's ties to the community and set a reasonable bond in this case.
All right, so as to count 1 and 4, the court does find probable cause probable cause has been found based on the warrant. So probable cause is found. I further find the proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great on counts 1 or 4. On count 4, the court is going to hold him without bond until further order of the court. That's the burglary with assault or battery. This order is without prejudice on count 4 for him to file a motion to set bond with this assigned division judge and request a hearing under State v. Arthur. On the other counts, Mr. Romero, I'm inclined to set the bonds as set by the warrant, except for count 8, tampering in a misdemeanor proceeding, which actually has a no bond hold. So we can set bond, we can see what the state's seeking, or you can suggest a bond. So what say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, I understand that Your Honor is on count 4 holding him no bond, so therefore he's not going to be able to get out. He's going to have to see his division judge anyway. So as far as any bond modifications, Judge, we'd be reserving that argument to be heard in front of his division judge. And on count 8, Judge, I'd ask for a $1,000 bond.
Okay. Anything further, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any victim, anything with no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim in this case?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I apologize for interrupting. Did the court make a finding?
NB, hold on. Okay, the court's gonna order no victim contact, 1 second, Mr. Vargas.
Of course.
No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials NB until further order of court. And that's your division judge. It's not up to a family law judge or dependency judge or any other judge except your division judge. You have to go back and get their permission in this particular case. So no victim contact, direct or indirect. On with NB until further order of the court by your division judge. Count 1 per the warrant, the court's going to set bond to $20,000. Count 2 is $20,000. Count 3 is $10,000. Count 4 is no bond. I'm sorry, forgot about you.
That's all right, Judge. I was just making sure that that count 1 there was a monetary bond set on that.
Yes, there is.
Thank you.
Count 5 is $20,000. Count 6 is $5,000. Count 7 is $10,000. Count 8 is $999, and count 9 is $999. No possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. And on count, the court's going to do a GPS level 2. On count 1, 2, 3, and 5. And I want you to maintain a 1,000 feet from MB. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Next one is Sheldon Polis.
Sheldon Paulus is here with the judge, and he declined the services of public defender.
It's in the warrant. Ms. Patrice, would you like the full name? Here you go.
And as in November, Bravo. Can I confirm 6 and 7 before?
Ms. Patrice has it right there,
That's what, that's
the
no,
bonds amount.
that's no. I was questioning, you said pre-trial, GPS on.
Can you talk in your mic because your head's the other way and this is coming out over here. What?
Everything except for the no bond, are you doing pre-trial GPS?
No, I put the ones that I'm doing the GPS on. I'm not setting them no bonds. I'll tell you in one moment. Let me just take care of this gentleman. Sheldon Polis, Pollas. Is that your name, sir?
Yes, here.
All right, sir. You have unauthorized possession of blank forged stolen driver's license. Counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bond set at $1,000. You do have 2 probation violations, which are no bond holds. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to set your bond at $999 on counts 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unless I hear otherwise, Mr. Romero.
Judge, Mr. Paulus declined the service of public defender.
Okay, so Mr. Paulus, you want to represent yourself, sir?
I have a lawyer,
Who's your lawyer, sir?
Scott Saul,
Spell the last name.
SAUL.
S-A-U.
L.
Do you know his number?
Not by head.
Mr. Vargas, can you look him up with the Florida Bar, please?
Scott, S-A-U-L.
Yes. All right, sir, have a seat. We'll take you in a moment. All right, Victor Prosper, what would you like to know, Sheila? Would you like me to repeat what I did?
I was just questioning count 6 and, 6 and 7, which is part of the Air 1 as well. You said pre-trial.
No, I did all of them. This is what I'm doing. I'll do it again. 20,000 per the warrant on 1, 20,000 on 2, 10,000 on 3, no bond on 4, 5 is 20,000, 6 is 5,000, 7 is 10,000, 8 and 9 are $999 each. I'm doing GPS level 2 on counts 1, 2, 3, and 5 and maintain 1,000 feet from NB. You need any other information? Thank you. Mr. Saul, did you find his number?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is it?
It is 305-326-9901.
Hey, can you call him and tell him that his client, does he represent him, and that his client is in jail? We need to magistrate him. We'd like to be here by 1 o'clock, or he can appear by phone. Gregory Lee Holland.
Mr. Holland, come on up, please.
Okay, Mr. Holland, you have a sex offender violation, failure to register is required. Court does find probable cause. There's actually a capias not in custody by Judge Bailey. What say you, State?
I'm looking it up right now, Your Honor.
From a 1999 case.
Judge, I see a felony habitual offender DWS from last year.
What are you requesting as far as bond?
A reckless driving. I'd ask for $1,000, Your Honor.
1,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, unfortunately, he's homeless. Right now, there's no one that's gonna be able to post his monetary bond. We'd be asking Your Honor to consider releasing him on pretrial release.
Okay, per state, $1,000 bond it is. Thank you. Jovan Romero Gentles.
Mr. Gentles is here present, Judge Jermaine.
Okay, Mr. Gentles, you have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less. $100 bond, count 2 is possess and or use drug paraphernalia, no bond required. And count 3, grand theft between $300 and $5,000. There's a no bond hold. Why does it say no bond? Let's see. All right, what say you state
Still trying to
on
look it up,
count
Your Honor.
3?
What is it?
Gentles. I don't have the paperwork.
Can I see the paperwork on Prosper, please? Okay, Ms. Patrice, I said no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. I added on here, okay? Thank you. Do we have extraditions today?
Yes.
How many?
6.
That's not bad.
So what does she want the bond on? Count 2?
You want bond on count 3, correct, Your Honor?
I'd like a bond that the state is requesting on count 3.
Your Honor, $1,000 for the grand theft charge.
Okay, what say you, defense? Total of $1,100 in bond they're requesting.
Judge, my understanding is Mr. Gentles has a relatively clean record. Having said that, Judge, he lives here locally in Lumber Hill, so I'd ask Your Honor to consider an RO on his behalf.
Sorry, tell me his priors again?
I don't see any Broward priors, Judge. There was a decline in CCW charge, but
How long has he lived here?
He's been living here, Judge, for 9 years. He's 26 years old. He's employed at a warehouse where he makes about $10 an hour. And he lives in Lauderhill with his mom, and his mom's a caretaker by trade.
$6101 North Falls of Inverary.
That's correct. That is correct, Judge.
Sir, I'll ROR you, but I'm gonna tell you, you have to show up for court. If you don't show up, that's on you.
Thank you, Judge.
What happened with Mr. Paulus, Mr. Vargas?
Your Honor, Mr. Saul's office says that Mr. Saul is currently in a federal trial. They have not. Sorry, they have not been contacted by Mr. Paulus or anybody in Mr. Paulus's family about representing him for this case.
So they don't represent him in this
Not
case.
for this case, but they have represented him before.
All right, Mr. Paulus, come on back up. Okay, Mr. Paulus, Mr. Saul's office says that he's in federal court. I don't know, did you hear the public defender?
Yeah.
So they don't represent you for this until I guess your family retains them. So what we could do is a couple different things. You do have 2 no bond holds. Is that out of Dade County? So we could do a couple things. You can represent yourself today. We can appoint the public defender for purposes of today. Or I can continue this till 1 p.m. today or till tomorrow.
I am the public defender.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Court will appoint the public defender for magistrate purposes. He has 2 Miami-Dade holds. So my inclination was to set $9.99 on each one.
But with Judge, Mr. Paulus says he intends on contacting his family to post him on show bond. He believes that if the bond set on count 4 at $500 each, which would be a total of $2,000, then his family should be able to post his bond so that he could go to Dade County and try and address his no bond holds there.
All right, I'll do that, fair enough. He has two no bond holds, $500 each. He is not to return to sorry, I was confusing this with the red roof one. Okay, he's not to return to the Walmart, 301 South State Road 7 in Hollywood, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Good luck, sir. Oh, hold on, let me just verify his address. Mr. Paulus, 500 Northeast 180th Drive, Miami?
Yes.
All right, look for your court date in the mail, okay? Good luck to you. Eric Brenner?
Mr. Brenner's approaching, Judge.
Mr. Brenner, you have utter or false instrument, fraud, $1,000 bond, count 2 is petty theft, between $100 to $300, bond set at $100. Total is $1,100, court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return and no contact with YH&S Accounting and Financial Consultants located at 2875 Northeast 19th Street. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. I lost that.
All right, what say you, Mr. Romero?
Judge, my understanding, Mr. Brenner has a clean record. He supports his wife and his one child is 3 years old. He works as an Uber driver and a delivery driver, so Judge, we'd be asking Your Honor to consider an ROR on his behalf.
State, what's his prior history?
Same thing. Does anybody have a say? No Broward priors, Your Honor. Do you have anything else?
ROR, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Sean Mitchell Bronner. Is he still a medical loan?
I believe so, Judge, on my paperwork, that's what it says.
All right, we're gonna have to make a probable cause determination. He was arrested the 15th, today's the 18th. He's charged with burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. Pardon?
What's his name, I'm sorry?
Bronner, Bronner. Any probable cause objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, waive appearance.
Oops.
Okay, defendant to be brought back for bond and conditions. So, Madam Clerk, probable cause has been found. Okay, we just need to bring him back for bond. Gregory Buckholst. I think we're done with you.
Your Honor, he refused.
I think we're done with you, Mr. Romero. Oh. Victor Fleming too, is it North Broward?
Yes, Your Honor, and I don't know if we want to get Mr. Fleming up here. I did get
Mr.
some new
Romero,
information.
we'll see you around 1.
Round one, today's Tuesday, do we have, exhibitions today? Do you know how many, by the way?
We're gonna be setting them, it's not gonna be long today, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Buckholz refused.
Okay. So,
Your Honor, I have some new information about Mr. Fleming.
let me just do Mr. Buckholst. He has a defendant voluntarily refused and voluntarily absent himself.
Are we going or are you going?
From magistrate court. He has $1,000 bond on one, 1,000 on two. His VOP pretrial, God bless you, is not for magistrate, that's no bond hold. So court will do count 1 and 2 at $9.99 each. Court does find probable cause. Okay, Mr. Fleming, welcome back, sir. Thank you for your patience and waiting. Go ahead, Mr. Vargas.
Honor, I did speak with Mr. Fleming. I noticed that Mr. Fleming has a pending second-degree felony in front of Judge Coleman, which he's represented by Andrew Coffey. The state has filed a motion to revoke his bond on that case as of September 14th, due to him picking up the September 9th charges. I would ask the court to...
Can you hear your attorney?
Can you hear me, Mr. Fleming?
Oh, yeah.
Your Honor, I would ask the court to leave the standard bonds in place and not address the other bonds.
Okay, so $9.99 on one. Defendant has revocation of bond pending before who?
Judge Coleman.
You know that case number?
Yes, Your Honor. 178060 CF 10A.
So you're telling me you reserve
Yes, Your
any
Honor.
argument?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Fleming, I don't know if Mr. Coffey's going to pick up your other cases or not, but if he doesn't, we'll have somebody from the Public Defender's Office come out and see you.
Okay.
Maybe you want to call Mr. Coffey and tell him.
I will, Your Honor.
He represents the defendant in 178060.
Yes.
Do you have Mr. Coffey's number, sir?
Not by heart, Your Honor.
Okay, good. You know it by heart?
He
I
doesn't.
don't know by heart.
All right, Deputy, can we give him Mr. Coffey's number? Do you have it? Deputy at North
I have it,
Broward.
actually.
Huh?
I have it, if you want. Okay. 954.
Hold on, can I have you take this number and give it to Mr. Fleming of his attorney, Mr. Coffey? Thank you, State.
Mr. Coffey, that's his name?
Yes.
Okay.
It's COFFEY. It's 954 467 5700.
All right, Deputy, if when we're finished here, can you let him make a call to his attorney on the
Yes,
phone?
ma'am.
He's probably not in, but at least let him leave a message that he's here.
Okay.
All right, I'd appreciate it. Sir, the deputy's gonna allow you to call your attorney now, okay? Thank you.
So it's
And
no
keep-
bond.
It's no bond on, well, no,
Well,
you
you
have a
have a bond.
$999 bond, but they have a revocation of your bond in the 178060 CF10A that Mr. Coffey is representing you on. So call Mr. Coffey,
call
tell
Mr.
him you got a new charge, okay?
Again, I can buy that?
Just,
Call Mr. Coffey,
on this
Mr.
case, I'm
Fleming.
setting your bond at $999, sir. In this case.
Thank you.
Hold on to that number, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, court's in recess till 12:50. We'll start the extradition session.